The Whipping Boy by Sid Fleischman, Chapter 14, in which is heard a voice in the forest. Jemmy could hear Prince Brat following in his tracks, step by step. He grimly pressed on. Brambles reaching out like cats' claws tore at their fine garments. The forest trees rose all around them like prison bars. Finally, Jemmy spun around. "Lay off! Get your own way!" "This way suits me," said the prince. "Well, don't follow me! I've no more idea than a gnat where I'm heading." "Silence," whispered the prince with a turn of his head. "Hear that?" They froze, the two of them. A voice came wailing through the woods. "Petunia! Petunia!" Then a young woman appeared, barefoot and jangling with bracelets. She moved through the trees as quickly as a wood spirit. Petunia! She carried a coiled rope in one hand and held outstretched in the other an amber chunk of comb honey. "Come here, darling. Come to Betsy." Suddenly, as if sensing a presence in the trees, she headed toward Jemmy and the prince. "Petunia, you there, naughty rascal? Smell the honey. Come feast yourself, pet." Jemmy didn't know what to make of this woman, girl, really, for as she drew closer, he reckoned she couldn't be more than 14 or 15 years old. He stepped out into full view with the prince clinging to him like a shadow. "Miss—" She stopped short. "My eyes! Who are you?" "Lost," said Jemmy. "Would you know which way to the river?" "Course I do. Ain't we heading for the fair, me and Petunia? Have you seen him?" "Petunia?" "Got Lucy did, my dancing bear, world famous." "Scared me out of my skin," Jemmy replied and pointed. "Back there." She turned on her heels and started off. "Hey!" Jemmy shouted. "Where's the river?" "Where it's always been, due south." "Which way is south?" Betsy paused to set her arm like a signpost. "Straight on." "You certain?" "Certain, I'm certain. Didn't Pa always say I had a head like a compass, rest him in peace?" And she was gone. Their clothes were ripped to tatters by late morning when Jemmy and the prince caught sight of the sparkling river, and almost at once they dove back into cover. Mounted on high-stepping horses, a pair of soldiers were advancing along the river road. "They must be out searching for you," Jemmy whispered. "If they catch me with you, I'm done for." Prince Brat didn't seem to be listening. His eyes were fixed on the passing soldiers. "Look here," Jemmy muttered impatiently. "I can't have you sticking to me like a barnacle. Ain't you had a snout full of running away? Go back with the soldiers." The prince shook his head. "Let them pass." And then he added, with the faintest of smiles, "This is the first time no one has had fits because I got my clothes grimy. The ladies keep me clean and starched as a pillowcase. But you're a prince. Is my face as dirty as yours? You don't belong knocking about outside the walls." Prince Brat gazed off into the distance. "Did you have lots of friends when you lived on the streets?" "Heaps." "Heaps, of course." "And hardly one of them wouldn't fight me over a bone. Go back. Your pa must be having double fits of worry." The prince answered with a flash of resentment. "I might as well be stuffed and hung on the wall like a stag's head for all he notices me." "You remind him often enough with all your pranks. How long are you going to let him sweat and stew?" "I don't know," declared the prince. "Maybe I'll never go back. This is the best time I ever had." "Gaw," Jemmy murmured. And that's the end of chapter 14.